Hi, I'm Milton Rendell and welcome to Real News Friday. Now I'll give you a few statistics today. I don't want to get too boring. It's been a bit boring in recent times. Most things are reasonably flat. Properties on the market at the moment, it's 4,744. Average days on market about 13. It's up in terms of stock levels, up about 13.1% compared to a year ago. Keeping in mind, a year ago there was only 2,798 properties on the market. So we're still under that 5,000 mark, and the market's still clicking along reasonably well. Rentals at the moment, 2,383 available, which is still, it's only a couple of percent above what it was a year ago. So the markets in themselves are pretty well stable. Thought today that I might share something which is a common question that I get is what is a real estate appraisal? First thing is it's not a valuation. Agents don't do evaluations. We're not qualified to do so, although we are in the field and valuers ask us quite commonly our thoughts about a property. Our part as an agent is really trying to tap into where the market is. Now, interesting part about it is that quite often we're trying to use data which is old. So sales that had 3 and 6 months ago, and we know that the market at different times is even moved in a week. The other part about it is we also do compare it to what's currently on the market, but a lot of stuff is not on the market, so we're not even the spread to compare to that we normally may have. The interesting part about it, I find, is that when you go to your course, there's two methods that you're taught. One's called comparative, and the other one is called summation. Now, comparative is the first thing I was talking about, where you take properties on the market, compare those to what they currently are. Now, that becomes harder when you come to areas like Guildford, Darlington, where houses are very, very unique. And if you're trying to use the summation method, it even becomes harder again. Why? Because no property in Darlington is exactly the same. Guildford varies, can be old, can be new, can be modern, can be a whole mixture of things. Go to the Swan Valley, can be a variation of size of block, can be a variation of the quality of the water, quality of the dirt, a whole pile of other things. So, in terms of the information that we're bringing to you, some of it can be dated. So the other part that which I think is really important is to have a look at the basics of the gut feeling of the agent as well and their experience. But I'm going to tell you a quick story before I tell you any more about an experience I had when I first started in real estate. I was talked about appraisals and told stories about appraisals, and my first boss, a guy called Dave Fisher, told me an interesting story in my first week of real estate. How he went out, he was a rookie, he'd first week in real estate himself, went out with an experienced agent. Agent walked through the house, did the wander, had a bit of a conversation, etc. So what happens is that whilst they're walking through the house, the agent turns around to the owners and says, look, I'm just going to talk to my colleague outside, I'll come back in and we'll have a discussion about pricing. So the agent walks out, says to Dave, look, have a look at this, writes two figures, one on one hand, one on another hand, walks into the client, says, look, interested to see what your gut feel is, and the people say, oh look, we think it's 65,000. The agent turns around, on one hand goes, look, 65,000. On the other hand, he actually had 70, so it bet each way. Thank goodness we've evolved since then. Going back to what I was just talking about before, there's two main methods, like I say, there's comparative and basically summation. But one of the most important things people tend to overlook when selecting an agent, the appraisal is part of it, it's giving you a guide. You'll have a feeling yourself, the internet provides a lot of information. The ability to negotiate is one of the really important parts with an agent. Remember, this person is representing you, trying to get every last buck out of the other person, and I don't say that in a horrible fashion, that's just our job. The better result that we get for you, the better that you can move forward and achieve your goals. Scripts and dialogues are how the agent communicates both with yourself and with the client, with the potential buyer, is really, really important, and that's where experience comes in, or good solid training in the background, or a brand that teaches their staff to really focus on that. The ability to communicate is so important. The numbers are one thing, that's fine, but really the ability to communicate and be able to express your message, making sure you're getting the best possible conditions, and that's one of the other things to consider. Also, talk to people about the conditions of contract. Most people don't ask about that. That can be real, if you've got a board that doesn't work, for example, or you've had some white ant damage in the past, but it's been fixed, etc. All that sort of information is really, really important to the agent and should be up front. And that also helps them present your property in the best light, and also enables them to overcome whatever obstacles are presented. Appraisals are a lot more complex than people realise. It's not a matter of turning up and get figures. Love to expand on this more, but for the moment, hopefully this information's helped you. All the best, and if you are thinking about selling, give our team at Real Estate Plus a call. All the best for the future.